What's up, Speedy's Garage gang? Welcome back to Speedy's Garage. This week, we're gonna do a little bit of a tool review, and I get a lot of the ideas for the content that I put on this channel from the questions and comments that you guys leave in the videos that I post when you leave them below. So I get a lot of questions about what tools I like to use. The shop series that I've been doing has generated a lot of those types of questions, even on other videos not related to the actual shop build itself. I've seen a lot of people make a comment that, hey, I've been watching your shop build series, but it'll be a comment on one of the videos about Go Man Go or Project Sport Runner, for example, and they're asking, what kind of tools do you like to use? They want to know what are some of my favorite tools and what's in the toolbox. So today I'm going to talk about some of that and show you probably one of the tools I use the most in the shop, so stay tuned. But first, for those of you that have been following along and know that I picked up this Husky workbench not too long ago, and I'll link to that to the top if you missed it. You'll remember my biggest complaint was that it did not have a light under the shelf to actually illuminate the work surface. And so what I picked up was a 36-inch LED work light, and I glued some magnets to the back of it so it just mounts right up underneath the shelf here. And then I just ran the cord, show you that, just ran it over the top, zip tied it where it would stay in place, and it's nice and tucked out of the way. Put these back. And now we've got a work light, and so it's got two settings. It's got a low and a high, so I'll show you low. So there's the low setting, and then flip it to high, and there's the high setting. I'll probably use it on high most of the time because I like a lot of light, but it came out great and worked perfect and really wasn't that expensive, and now we've got our lighting problem solved. And there you can see it's just literally magnets holding it in place, and I can move it around if I want to, but I've got it kind of set right where I want it. But that's what it looks like from the underside. So I've been working on various automotive things and motorcycles too for a long time, and I started off with just plain old hand tools. It's all I could afford. If you're one of the younger people watching this channel, and you're interested in working on automotive type things or anything really, carpentry, whatever your interest might be, I would recommend you start asking for the tools that you're interested in for birthdays and Christmas. That's how I built up a pretty good tool collection as a younger person. I would kind of make lists of things I thought I might need, and then when relatives would say, hey, what do you want for graduation? What do you want for your birthday? What do you want for Christmas? I would ask them for a tool. And so I started off with just the hand tools. Eventually, I graduated to pneumatic, which are air tools, and I ended up going to something like this. And this is a Husky 3/8 pneumatic or air ratchet. It makes about 60 to 65 foot-pounds, and it's worked really well. The downside has been it's loud. Number one, it's probably one of the loudest tools in my toolbox. And number two, I find the air hose kind of getting in my way sometimes. But it made jobs much, much quicker because I could get the bolt, kind of broken loose with the tool and then just squeeze the handle and it would run it on out. The challenge, like I said, was number one, it's noisy, and number two, the air hose got in the way a lot. So as you saw, that was about 88 decibels, and that's loud. Remember, on a decibel scale, it's exponential. It's kind of like the Richter scale. Each decibel is 10 times louder than the previous decibels. So 87 to 88 is 10 times louder. So 88, you could hear it's pretty loud. I don't know that the microphone on the camera is going to pick it up all that well, but trust me when I say it's loud. And with something like this, you also have to be conscious of putting oil in it. It says daily. In my case, since I didn't use it every single day, you have to remember to put oil in it every time you use it. And you can see there, I did oil it right before I tested it. It does make a little bit of a mess, so that's something else you're going to have to deal with on something like that. So as time went on, technology got better. Your cordless tools got much better, and eventually I came across this guy, and it's an AC Delco, and the actual model number, make sure I get this right, is an ARW, that's Alpha Romeo Whiskey 1201, and it has been great. It has, depends on where you look, it's got a 57 foot-pound rating, but it says normal use is 47 foot-pounds, and it has a 160 RPM freewheel speed. So when it's actually just freewheeling and loosening a bolt, it'll turn at 160 RPMs. You don't have to oil it, and it comes with 2 batteries, which I thought was great because you could have one charging while the other one's working, and then you get your charger and this nice case. Now, I've never used the case personally because I do all of my work here in the shop, but if you have to do anything where you're going to be remote, it's nice to be able to put the tools in a box or something like that to protect them. I've found that the battery lasts quite a long time actually. I've used it off and on all day long and never had the battery go flat. But again, you get 2 of them, so if it does, you just swap them out. And it does take a little while for the battery to charge. I would say, I've never really looked at it and timed it, but let's say it takes about an hour to 90 minutes to take a battery from flat to fully charged. If you know that's not right, leave me a comment below and correct me, but that's kind of what I remembered. Like I said, I'm not staring at the thing trying to figure out exactly when the batteries are charged, but I've been very, very happy with this, and you guys have seen me use it in a lot of my videos if you've been following along. And it's real simple to use, just like a regular ratchet pretty much. Put the battery in, lock it in place. It's got 2 places on the side to remove the battery. It's got a nice rubber grip handle that's very grippy, and it's variable speed, so you can the more you squeeze the handle, the faster it goes. Let's see how many decibels it makes. We'll try to hold it about the same distance from the phone. So there was about 83 to 84 decibels. I saw it peak at 86, but again, remember it's a exponential scale, so each decibel is 10 times louder than the other, and you can see normal conversations around 80. And there's how it packs into the case. If that's what you're interested in using it for, it comes with some paperwork. I usually just leave it in the box. 1-year warranty on the tool itself, and that's how it all packs up. The battery's nice and secure. Get your charger and the tool packed away, and there you go. And I have a little section of my toolbox set up with all of my battery chargers for the various tools, and this one's just added to the list there. And you just slide the battery in and it'll start doing its thing. When this light's solid green, you know the battery's ready. And just like any normal ratchet, it does have a forward and reverse, and they are marked appropriately. Reverse, forward, and it's super easy to clean. I just use a little soap and water to wipe down the rubber grip, and everything else wipes off. I do keep a little bit of oil on the top of the ratchet. It does want to get a little bit of surface rust on it, and I just keep that oiled. And I've had this for several years, and it still looks really, really good, and I have used it a ton. And the other nice thing about this particular model, and again, I'm gonna read it off to you because they make several different versions of this. This one is the ARW, Alpha Romeo Whiskey 1201, and I'll leave a link in the description if you wanna pick up the exact same one that I have. The really nice thing about this is you gotta remember it's basically a working torque of about 47 foot-pounds, and you're not gonna be able to just drop this thing on any old bolt and squeeze the trigger and it break the bolt free. It's 13.5 inches long, and it's extremely durable. It's all metal construction on the top half with just the rubber part being the grip. And so what you can do is you can get it on a bolt that you're trying to loosen or a fastener, and you can use the length of the tool as leverage, and you can break the bolt loose and then squeeze the lever to run it the rest of the weight out, and it makes the work go extremely fast, and you're not wearing yourself out. That's been the biggest thing I've noticed going to any type of power tool, whether it be a pneumatic tool or a cordless tool, compared to when I used to do all of my automotive work using just standard manual ratchets and sockets and things like that. I would wear myself out. My arms and wrists and fingers would be tired at the end of the day. And with these tools, I get the job done in a half or a third of the time, and I'm not worn out at the end of it. So that's the big advantage to using something like this. Now, like I said, there are several versions of this and several manufacturers that make these. I bought this with my own money, so I'm not telling you guys about my happiness with this tool because it was sponsored or anything like that. I did purchase this myself, and so I can only speak to this particular AC Delco, and it says it's heavy duty, and I would agree with that. I have had zero problems with it, and I have used it a bunch, like I've said. And so if you decide to try to use or purchase a different model, just make sure that you read up on it and see if it has as good of reviews as I think this one does. If you look on the Amazon and whatnot, the people who've bought this have given it really good reviews, and so I feel pretty comfortable recommending it to you guys. I don't think you're gonna have any trouble with it. It's a 12-volt tool. Very, very happy. Works great, and I expect to get many years of usage out of this guy. And I've got a nice spot for it right there in the toolbox. So as I said at the beginning of this video, I get a lot of ideas for content for this channel from the questions and comments that you guys make. So be sure to leave me comments below on what you might want to see in the future. And don't be disappointed if I don't get to it right away. I think you'll find that over time I will get there. It just takes me a little while because I've got several things queued up, and it'll depend on what time of year it is and if we're at the track or not. There will be certain things that take priority over others. Having said that, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll be doing more tool reviews in the future. I think this is our second one. The first one went over pretty well. It was our work sharp knife sharpener, and that went over pretty good. People have emailed me back saying that they have gotten theirs and been really happy with it. So I'll continue to do some tool reviews and tell you what I've personally found very useful and very helpful, and the good, the bad, and the ugly, really. And I'm not a professional mechanic. I do this for fun. And so if you do this for a living, you might have different expectations from your tools than I would. Mine are more the consumer grade versus the pro grade, but you're gonna pay more for that pro grade, and it's because you're making money with them. Mine just gotta get the car worked on so I can get to the track or go a little bit faster, get out and have a good time with it. Hope you liked the video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. That helps me get these out into the algorithms of YouTube. Be sure to check us out on Instagram. It's @Speedys_garage, as well as our website, www.speedysgarage.net. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell if you haven't already, and hopefully I'll see you out there.